Hey everyone, I'm here with one of the March 1st, 2021 LEGO Star Wars releases. It's Luke's Red 5 X-Wing helmet. I got this for $60 US, 60. I kind of feel like there's more to talk about than usual with this one. It's interesting and it's unique among the helmets. None other has been done quite like this. The most important thing to me that stands out in a good way is how this is presented as a headless thing, a headless hollow headpiece. You compare this to the Batman cowls that were done with a lot of fill-in of clear in the open mouth area, and this one doesn't try to do that at all. This one doesn't hide the fact that it's completely hollow and doesn't try to do anything awkward about it. As a matter of fact, it embraces its hollowness by showing you the padding on the inside there, which is very nice. And we'll take a little bit better look at that. But first, I want you to just see what this looks like overall, all the way around. This does have a fair number of stickers on it, or it has a fair amount of sticker coverage, but it also has some prints. Like these are printed all the way down here, and I'll point out some other individual ones and talk about some of the specifics there. But the shaping of this overall is, again, very, very different. The build for it is very different from any of the others to date, and I will say that I enjoyed the build experience here. The build begins and ends with the stand. You build the foundation first, and the plaque is the last piece that you put on there. That is a print there. And then once you have the core of the stand in, everything else is added on, mostly in place. You do some sub-assemblies, such as the entire side plate is done as its own thing, but then it's added on to a bunch of other pieces that are already attached in place. You do some of these individual segments back here separately, but then you quickly put them on here. And a lot of the building is done directly on the main assembly of it all as it goes. This has the chin strap in there with the suggestion of the full, or the chin pad with the suggestion of the full strap coming around. You can adjust the position of that and angle it up and down a little bit to get it just right to your liking. Similarly for the microphone boom over here, which is able to be angled up and down in place. You can also kind of swing it out of the way, bring it in, like get that to just where you want it to be. The way that I've displayed it right now may not be exactly ideally what you want. Looking at the sides, this is one of the things that I particularly like here. It has a combination of stickers and prints. So this right here is a print. That in the center is a sticker. You do need to line that up to try to get the lines to look all proper. But then up here, these are stickers. So this is a sticker. I tried to get the lines fairly close. I'm just a fraction off right there. But this is another sticker over here. What's interesting about these is that they do have to bend a little bit on multiple axes. It's not just on a flat surface. It's something that LEGO has not done in a long time. They usually have a policy of never forcing you to bend stickers where they have a little bit of curvature, again, on multiple axes. You can bend on one axis only, typically, but here it goes all the way around. That bend is toroidal around this donut shaped piece. And you know what? It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It works out okay because it's not a lot of bend and there is plenty of flexibility in the stickers. That felt really good to me to actually put that on there. I got a piece here that's just not quite perfectly put on. These are stickers here for the yellow stripes in between, and I already mentioned that the main central core here uses all prints. So each of these is a printed 1 by 4 by 1 curved piece. The opacity there is not great, but it's not bad. I think it's just acceptable for kind of the range that I would like to see personally. I wish it was a little bit more opaque. The print does go side to side well, so it fills the width of the brick, but obviously not the full length. So you get all of these awkward gaps in there. It's better to do it this way with prints than to do it with a whole bunch of stickers, but just better prints would have been better. You know, it is nice that these lines here are done with just the continuous, flexible tube piece there. And I think that works to a good effect from any kind of decent distance. You look up close, of course, you're going to recognize that this is LEGO. It's not going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that. This is probably what I like least. Second to least. This is what I like least about the main helmet itself. The main mass of the helmet is right here. Is this big step down that just looks awkward when it's pixelated like this. You know, when everything is rectilinear with the LEGO build. But so you look at it directly from there. If you focus on that, you'll notice it The Rebel Alliance logos up here are prints, and those are very good, with the exception, of course, of the lack of any printing down the center where the stud is. I think that those are a design that a lot of people will want to have and to use in different contexts. You can practically use that just towards a simple pin, you know, something that would be wearable. It's a good thing to have as a print officially from Lego, but it is unfortunate that it doesn't go all the way through there. All right, let's get to the 800-pound gorilla, the Ray-Bans. Yep, the visor is supposed to be just one continuous wraparound feature, wraparound molded trans-orange feature. And here we get two distinct lenses. Now, I will say that when I first saw pictures of this, I was far less forgiving of this design than I am now. I feel better about it today than I did originally because of the size here. The whole thing is a little bit smaller than I thought, and thus I feel like I just need to be more forgiving and more kind because of the limitations of the material here, of the medium, which is Lego bricks. This is not as bad as I thought. It's not as far off as I thought based on the size. That said, definitely if you want this to look right, you want to have something in between there to make this look more like a continuous wraparound rather than the two lenses. What gets me most about the shape, and I think what has disturbed most people who have issues with this regarding the shape of the visor, is that these kind of lens half segments look like they're ending right here. You have that nice sharp curve. It goes all the way up. It's a circular curve. It goes all the way up. If there's just a single little bit, or whatever would be the smallest amount of rectangular fill in between there, I think it would make it look more like it's trying to be a wraparound style. Also, just overall, that entire orange section, the trans orange visor section, is a bit small on this helmet. And its placement might not be right proportionally. These are the leftover pieces here, including generously an extra full-length yellow, that's just regular yellow colored flexible tube, and one of this piece in the new black color, which is great. Here's what the sticker sheet looked like. So that really isn't too bad for this size, for the amount of detail that's on there. You know, they really, there's a lot of graphic work on the helmet, so the fact that this few stickers was used really highlights how many prints were included. Again, this was $60 US, 60, and that's just kind of the run-of-the-mill standard price for these, which I still to this day feel is too much for this amount of stuff. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that position. I would like all of these to be cheaper for the total amount of stuff that you get here, and for even the display value as well. You know, the size of it, forget about the fact that it's Lego, or remember the fact that it's Lego. No matter how I look at it, this feels like too much to pay. But I do feel like I got a slightly better deal with this one because it has so many prints. The prints definitely add value to it, even though the prints themselves are not all perfect, right? But overall, I did feel like this was one of the better helmets, better experiences to build. I think that it is executed, most of it is executed very well. I think they did so much better than the Batman cowls for an empty helmet, empty headgear piece sort of display. And just generally speaking, this presents pretty well to someone who is not familiar, especially to someone who is not intimately familiar with staring at those Rebel helmets. Because I think if you are really familiar with those Rebel helmets, you know how this is supposed to look. You know that this is supposed to be out here. This is supposed to be out here. And it's supposed to be all one thing. Seeing it in person, I can get past the separation between the two lenses there. But I can't get past just how inset this is. It needs to be a much more obvious thing that sticks out. That's really what I dislike about this the most. But all in all, again, good build experience, enjoyable to have. If you like what it looks like, I think you will very much like having this. Really comes down to that. Pretty simple. Let me know your thoughts in the comments though, including about this, and if there's anything else that stands out for you in a good or bad way. And I will continue to build more stuff live over on Twitch and bring you reviews right here. Bye for now.